So I am going to go through how to read a Keepa graph. I have some examples on here that I am going to go through as we're doing this. I feel like if you can read a Keepa graph, you have an extremely powerful tool at your disposal. You can anticipate trends. You can know how pricing is going to go. You can be prepared for shifts in the season and just a whole bunch of things. So on the sheet, and for those of you watching us stream it, I'm going to post them on the Facebook group because they didn't get up there. But there are a series of ASINs, so I'm going to pull those up here so that we can look at these graphs. If you have an ASIN and you want to pull it up on Amazon, you can put amazon.com/DP/ and then the ASIN, and that will take you to that page. So it's a neat little trick that you can use. So I'm going to scroll down to the Keepa graph. So the first thing I want to talk about is being able to read a Keepa graph. So there are two levels to the Keepa graph. The first one is going to have your pricing information in it and the sales rank. The second is going to have your review and the seller. So let me go through this and explain to you how this is read. If you click on these and it's a straight line, it'll hide that information. So if you see a Keepa graph that has no information on it, it either means that it's brand spanking new on Amazon or all of these points have been hidden. So all you have to do is just click on it, and once it's a full circle of color, you can see that it is activated again. So the first thing is if Amazon is on a listing, it'll be in this orange-yellow color. You can see when Amazon is out of stock by the gaps in the graph. If you hover over something and you have no idea what it means, when you hover over it, there's like a little bar. I can't move the mouse because it'll go off of the description, but underneath of the second bar graph, it'll tell you what that key means. The second one is a line of purple, and that is the lowest new third-party price by a seller on Amazon, shipping not included. So this is going to be merchant fulfilled and FBA. Then the black is used, and it's the lowest used price by a third-party seller on Amazon. The green line is the sales rank. The brown line is the list price. Now, list price is very important because if the buy box is at list price, then it should be fine. But once the buy box goes over list price, you get a suppressed buy box. Now, what a suppressed buy box is instead of having this add to cart function, you're going to have see all from other sellers. And when some people who shop on Amazon see that, they automatically think that it's out of stock. They don't know that they can click on that and pick the exact seller that they want to buy it from. So you want to try to avoid listings that have a suppressed buy box, or if you're going to list those products, you make sure that you stay below the list price. Now, if you don't know how to find what the list price is, it used to be right on the product description page, but Amazon took it off, unfortunately. So what you have to do is try to add it to your inventory, and once you get to that section where you specify how much you're going to sell it for and all that stuff to add it to your inventory, over by where the ASIN is, it'll tell you what the list price is for that item. I can probably show you guys. So if I wanted to check what the list price was of, and I'll try this product here because it might be something that we can sell. So let me find another product. So when I go to sell yours, it's going to tell me what the list price is right here in that red. So I have to make sure that I stay below that number. So if I list it at $59 dollars and 55 cents, it will go to a suppressed buy box because it's over that list price. The next thing is the blue circle is new third-party FBM. So this is fulfilled by a merchant, the lowest fulfilled by a merchant number. This will tell you if there are any lightning deals. This orange is new third-party FBA, so this is the lowest FBA seller. This pink diamond is the buy box. This brown is lowest used price, shipping not included. So all of this is good information to have to be able to look at. And then down here it has the new offer count, and then the used offer count, the rating if that's available, and then the review count. Now the new offer count, that can be helpful on a product that maybe doesn't have a lot of sales. If you see consistently that there are only 2 people selling that product, and it's something that has a high sales rank, that might be an indication that that product is going to take a little bit longer to sell. So you want to pay attention to the trends in pricing, look at the sales rank trends, don't ignore this bottom graph, zoom in for past performance and features here. So I'm going to talk about all these things. So this product here is a Fitbit Alta tracker. And you can see this goes back 533 days. We're looking at the 3-month. The 3-month will be the default here. And just looking at this, you can see a couple of things. So you see here that the price dropped. Amazon is out of stock here, and you see here that the price dropped. So I want you to look at this drop right here. What is this date? July 18th to July 16th. What were those dates? Yep, Prime Day. So the price went down for Prime Day. So, yep. And then Amazon went out of stock because they sold like hotcakes. So you can see that just this little event here triggered for that price to go down, but after it was over, the price went back up. You can see that the price dipped again around August 4th to about August 19th. What happened here? August 15th. It was August 15th. For long-term storage. Yep. So the price dropped again because of long-term storage. So those are kind of things that when you learn how to read a Keepa graph, you can anticipate. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So once you know how to read a Keepa graph and you know how certain products perform, you can anticipate how this product is going to go. These trackers are also popular on Mother's Day and Father's Day. So you can see that in May that the price also dropped here. So if you know how to read a Keepa graph, you can anticipate when these drops are going to happen. So if I'm buying this Fitbit tracker and I'm going to sell it around Mother's Day, then I can anticipate that the price is going to drop temporarily and then go back to the regular price. Yeah, sometimes Amazon does because Amazon price matches. So Fitbit, they also drop their price. They have certain promotions on certain holidays. So Amazon will drop their price to match what's on the website. I actually, whenever I've bought several different Fitbits myself, and I've always bought them from Amazon because I know I get that 2 free day shipping with Prime, but I know that Fitbit is having a sale, but Amazon is also going to match their price for that product. So being able to anticipate these events is a great way to plan your business. So you can see that something is going to be temporary. I don't need to necessarily worry about the price. I know where the price is going to be. The next thing that we're going to look at is a Nike hoodie. I also want to point out that the Keepa graph changes based off of the variation that you select. Now, the sales rank, that's going to be the same because that's tied to the parent. But when you change the variation, the Keepa graph information is going to change because the pricing varies per variation. So that's something that I definitely want you guys to be aware of. So I'm going to look at a large black or maybe an extra large black because that's usually the main one. So if you look here, you can see kind of what's going on. So this is a hoodie, and I believe like it's a decent thick hoodie. So most people aren't wearing hoodies in the winter time unless you're me and you work with Sam and you have air conditioning fights. As you can see what Sasha has on right now, that she just walked by, because it's usually freezing in here. But you can see during the summertime that sales rank was just a little bit higher because it's the winter time. Still a Nike product, so it's still going to sell well. But as we're getting into these colder months, you can see that the sales rank is like super, super, super low. Okay? So these are things that you want to be aware of when you're buying products. Like, for example, sandals or sundresses. We are slowly but surely transitioning out of the season for those items. So if you're buying those items, you might want to slow up a little bit. Yes, there is always a market for those items because people go on vacation. People live in climates where it's hot all year around and they don't have to worry about it getting cold. But the demand for those products is starting to go down. So if you're still buying sandals and open-toed shoes and sundresses, you might want to pay attention to this tracking information here to see what the trend looks like, because that's helpful information to have. So the next one, and I'm going to pull up another graph. Just give me a second here. Is this making sense to you guys? The next thing I'm going to look at is Speak Out. And this was a holiday game. It's where you put the thing in your mouth and you have to say phrases and you drool all over the place and people laugh at you and it's funny. So this is a great example of how to read a Keepa graph because it has just about every single symbol on it for you to look at. So if you want to get familiar with reading a Keepa graph, using the Speak Out Keepa graph is probably the best. So one of the other features that Keepa can do is it can zoom out to all of the history of this product, and you can also, just by clicking, dragging, and then unclicking, you can zone in onto a particular period of time. Now this is helpful for seasonal items and Q4 items because if I want to look at all of the history on this item, Q4 is happening now pretty much. If I want to go back to last year and see how this product was performing last year and then kind of speculate on how it will perform this year, you can do that with the Keepa graph. So if I go out and buy this product, I can see around this time last year, it sold at, the buy box is at $13.89. So I know that it's going to be around that price. But as it gets closer to Christmas, it went up a little bit. So having access to the Keepa graph can give you some very helpful information on how to project how something is going to sell that same time this year. Yes. Sometimes it does. On certain listings, it will show the eBay price. And then the last graph that I have, and I wanted to give you guys a couple of graphs to look at to kind of illustrate what I wanted to show you and how to use a Keepa graph. Now this next one is just popcorn that goes in the popcorn machine. So if you've been here for the in-office visits, one of those old-fashioned popcorn machines, this is the packet that you get to put in there. So this Keepa graph is a great illustration of the potential of a product getting a suppressed buy box, because if you look at this Keepa graph, you can see that in most cases the buy box is riding that pink symbol. Eric, can you see? Do you need me to make it bigger? If it'll let me make it bigger. Is riding that line. So the pink diamond is the buy box price, and that brown line is right on the list price. And as you can see, so a lot of people ask me who determines what list price is. And the answer to that is whoever creates the listing determines what the list price is, because they can easily go back into that listing and edit what the list price is. If I create a listing for a Nike hoodie or something like that, if I wanted the list price to be $40 and then 2 weeks later I see that everybody is listing it at $40 and I want to kind of control the flow of the market, I can lower that price if I want to. So that's kind of how list price is determined. So if you look at this product, this is a crazy one to get on because the list price fluctuates so much. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can go out a little bit. So when you're looking at this, you want to pay attention to list price, and you also want to pay attention to what the average price is for that item. And let me see if this one does a better job of illustrating this. Okay, so if I look at this Keepa graph, I can see that the average price for this item is about $44.99, right? There are times where it has been a little bit higher than that, and there are times where it has been a little bit lower than that. So when I'm thinking about pricing my items and what my ROI is going to be, I might want to say that the buy box is going to be this average price, not so much what the current price is, because the current price can change and fluctuate so much that it may not be a good indicator of what the average price of that product is. So that's why you want to be familiar with and look at the Keepa graph average to see what it is. Because if you're basing it off of a one-time sale, you could be losing money or you could be missing out on making money. The examples right here, this Fitbit, if I went off of this one-time price of $119.95, but the price is usually up here, I'm missing out on making money. So definitely being able to read a Keepa graph is a fantastic tool to have. So I showed you how to read a Keepa graph. Hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. I showed you how to look at the trends in pricing, how to look at the trends in sales rank, especially when you're dealing with seasonal items. I mentioned that prices changes per variation. Don't ignore the bottom graph as well, because it does have some good information on there as well. I showed you how to zoom in for past performances. And this is the free version of Keepa. There is a paid version, and it has a couple other tools. Now, we ourselves, we have the free version of Keepa. We don't pay for the full version, but there are some features with the paid version. I want to talk about some of the features with just the free version. You can track ASINs and be notified when certain things change on the Keepa graph. So if Amazon goes out of stock on something, you can be notified so that you can maybe try to jack the price up. So let me go here and show you what the paid version has. Not necessarily. It depends on where the list price is. Sometimes the list price is like a huge number that you won't get to, and sometimes it's like right on the cusp. So it's definitely something that you want to pay attention to. So the paid version has some extra features, some extra tracking things that you can do within the platform. If you want to check it out, you can definitely go to Keepa and read more about what the special features are. But for the most part, you should only need the free version of it. So I definitely want you guys to be familiar with how to read a Keepa graph, how to understand a Keepa graph, how to use a Keepa graph to predict pricing trends, how to use a Keepa graph to predict sellability trends. The more comfortable you feel in reading a Keepa graph, the better information you'll have. Like you will be able to predict things and when the prices are going to drop. Yes. Yeah, we have, yeah, everything that I just showed you is with the free version. Yeah. All right, are there any questions?
For the paid version, which is like the best, what we can need today.
I mean, I don't even think you need the paid version in all honesty.
Yeah, something special that we have like
it offers the paid one. It offers like a variation data table, list imports. You can see the best seller who's selling the product on Amazon. You can see the top Amazon sellers. You can see the top products in certain categories. You can see seller storefront lists, category trees, eBay price history. So if you want access to that, sometimes it's on there and sometimes it's not on there. Sometimes you have to pay to see it. So those are some of the features that are available with this. It's in euros, so ish, yeah. All right, are there any questions? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Some people will. Yep. But if you're not afraid to compete with Amazon, then it's not so much of an issue. So if you're competing with Amazon, if they share the buy box, they're going to have it about 75% of the time. So if that's the case, then you really need to look and see who your competition is and see, yep. And then, I mean, if Amazon is on the listing and it's like no other people or it's like one other person or a couple of other people, then it's not so bad. You want to think of it as like a pizza pie. Like the smaller the piece gets, like you're like, I don't want to even bother with that. Yeah. Whoever else. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. You in it. Yeah. So if you're gonna compete with Amazon, Amazon has algorithms where they can just go below you. So it might just be easier to either match them or go a little bit above them. Match them or go a little bit above them. Yeah, on the product. Depending on what the product is and the competition, then that kind of determines it. If you have a repricer, I forget if we go, I think we stay like 1% above Amazon if we have a repricer.